to take a look at the past 24-hour news cycle, or even the past 6-hour news cycle, to realize that the agenda is very much full, but topping it is obviously the situation vis-a-vis the Palestinian on both fronts, meaning Hamas in the Gaza Strip and the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah. Perhaps more pressing in terms of the events on the ground is the issue of the Gaza Strip. We are witnessing yet another uptick in violence, and as you've mentioned, Benita, Egypt plays a key role, if not the main role, in all mediation efforts between Israel and Hamas, and not just when it comes to violence along the border fence or the rocket fire, but also to the long-standing issue of the Israeli citizens and IDF soldiers' bodies that are being held captive by Hamas. These two topics on the agenda, obviously, of the meeting that is currently taking place. Not less important, especially not from Cairo's standpoint, is the peace process, or lack thereof, between Israel and the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah. Only earlier this month, President Sisi hosted a summit featuring Jordan's King Abdullah, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Now this public meeting with Bennett, definitely an attempt to try and kickstart some sort of communication, and it definitely echoes in other diplomatic endeavors from Jerusalem's standpoint, let it be Washington, Moscow, the European allies, and the Gulf states. All of them would very much like to see some sort of movement in this respect. But last but definitely not least, the symbolic aspect of this meeting. In the past decade, it's the first meeting in the past decade publicly in Cairo between an Egyptian president and an Israeli prime minister. We have seen a meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, back in 2018 between el-Sisi and former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. But such a meeting, the two leaders with the flags in Egyptian territory, this is something we haven't seen in a decade. Definitely an impactful image there that will resonate, I believe, not just here in the region, but also globally, not to speak internally, on the political domain, not less complicated, as we all know.